Peace, what's up? This is Jarrell with Quantum Light Consciousness. Today I want to talk about grounding and firewalling your energy. Okay, so what it means to be grounded are two completely different interpretations going around in the collective today in society. You have the 3D perspective, which is if you're on the spiritual path and you kind of like maybe dabble a little bit, or you might not be on the spiritual path at all. Either way, it kind of is still 3D, whether you're spiritual or not. You're looking at things from a mundane perspective of connecting to the earth, putting your feet on the grass, like understanding like there's an electrical charge that goes through the ground that connects to your physical body, your physical vessel, to alleviate pains and aches. That's basically a 3D perspective, like the grassroots of the actual connection of the physical current that runs through your body as your nervous system and as your natural electrical conductivity. Then there's a shaman and mystic awakened perspective. Alright, now this perspective is more or less a person who has wakened up out of the matrix totally and completely, who exists in the void and who could see through the matrix, and who has interactions, dealings, and perspectives as their higher self, with them higher selves, involving themselves as a vessel while simultaneously being in dreamtime simulations and waking reality, walking around in a physical vessel. Now, both of these perspectives are both completely and totally valid. It comes to a fact that if you're awakened to a certain degree, there's just no pretending anymore and there's no going back. Okay? So you can be the most spiritual person on the planet, the most spiritual person on the earth, like the dude, Dos Equis dude, or whoever, except spiritual. You can live from the inside out, you can live from the outside in, or you can live in a tangle between the two. Alright, now that's where most people get caught up. However, the two ways that those two people, different types of people, the people in 3D who only understand spirituality from the third dimension, and the people who understand spirituality from, themselves as their own truth, the way that they ground themselves are two completely different things. Like, you can't pretend like the moon isn't a floating space lab. It's a hollow space lab. You can do your full moon rituals, like they still work because it's like a gravitational pull, but like the gravity on the moon is like, it's literally like tractored onto the face of the planet, and it's artificial, and like you can't ignore like the entire scam of the entire human race has been like in a hostage situation since the fall of the golden age. Like, a bank is an etheric corporation. Like, I always talk about banks. I keep bringing it up, and I hate to keep bringing it up, but like those and like religious institutions, churches, same thing. Like, they're feeding energy into a dark grid, up to a dark etheric force with your own life energy. And I can't pretend that that's not happening. Same thing with using a tech device, same thing. You put your attention, sorry, there's a little dog over there in a raincoat. Alright, okay. You use your attention on your device, and that device is actually feeding off of your etheric auric field, and it's hooking in and it's projecting a copy of you onto that etheric artificial grid. And I can't pretend that it's not happening because I have to use a goddamn tech device every day of my life. So there's a clear difference of like how you ground, like if you're walking on the centered middle path of clarity, and how somebody who only understands spirituality from a third dimensional perspective is going to ground. Okay, so this video is for the quantum conscious individuals who kind of see reality from their own lens, not from like a crushed up, grounded, like fraction, like, lens that's cracked from the collective. You have to become whole within yourself to see your own self within your own whole view of the completed universe as a unified system. Like, people think they're spiritual, and they're really just kind of just like recirculating and rewriting and reprocessing and integrating something that they heard out of a book, and they're not really going into the own depths of their own soul and seeing and feeling and sensing, cohering, and processing their own inner reality for themselves. And they're constantly walking around the earth, kind of like consciously creating their own heaven or their own hell. And if they don't get out of that, they'll continue to do that in their own fourth density after they pass on. But like, to keep it just in this video, I just wanted to say that, you know, it's really your own responsibility to understand the differences between, you know, being grounded as a person who understands 3D as a spiritual person, or being a totally awakened individual within your own right, seeing your own self as totally awake without needing somebody else's perspective or a group of other people's perspective to congregate and look at one concept and totally have to agree on spiritual concepts in order for you to agree to yourself that you know something. That's a leading edge of what you would call complacency of the mind. When you have spiritual people who gather at conferences and kind of, you know, their hearts are in the right place, but they're not going deep, and they just want to know more. They want to learn more, and at least they're there. But like, if they need somebody else, that's the edge of where you jump off into your own mind. Now, when you do that, it becomes obvious, you know, after you get into your own clarity, that you see that, you know, there is a sickness of the mind and emotional field plaguing the collective. Okay? Now, look at it this way. The spiritual path and the mystic's path, or a person who's totally awakened, they say that the schizophrenic individual who either knows they're schizophrenic or doesn't know they're schizophrenic, who thinks they're spiritual person in 3D, that person will drown in the same waters that the mystic backstrokes in delight. So it really depends on your understanding of yourself and how you continually ground yourself, because again, there's no pretending. You continue to bring in the energies of that awakened field, dialing those higher frequencies down into the reality around you, regardless of what others are doing, are feeling, are sensing, and are perceiving and are thinking around you. That's your own prerogative. So it's like, you know, the goal is to live from the inside out while in your clarity, while walking between worlds. This is possible. Like, if you have ever, all right, between all the density, between all the negativity, all right, all the chaos, like, if you have ever been in a situation, maybe you lived in a house, or maybe you've been on an airplane or a crowded bus, all right, and there's a baby crying, and you tuned it out. Like, if you have the ability to tune out a crying baby, you can develop the ability to walk in your own clarity from every day. It depends on your will, it depends on your resolve. However, it's totally possible. I do it every single day. Now, mind you, my lifestyle is a little bit different than some people's. However, it can be done. You know, it really depends on your commitment. So that's the key to getting into your own center and totally removing all types of attachment. That's all it is. There's only one type of sickness, and that sickness is attachment. Everything else, it all falls under the category of attachment. All of it. Once you understand attachment, you just move it all away. So the ability to tune out or firewall, all right, that's what you want to do. You want to put up a firewall. So it's kind of like a thick filter around your sphere of consciousness to remove and prevent any insane, chaotic, hypocritical, and contradicting frequencies to the self, like rage, psychotic sadness, guilt, or judgment. Alright, this is going along to all the people out there who have to interact with people who are on these frequencies and they don't know that they're on these frequencies, and they project these frequencies unknowing into your reality, alright, or into the reality that's around them, because they do not know how powerful that they are. Okay, all you have to do when you have to deal with people who are uncontrollably depressed, who flip out, at like the drop of a hat, or people who are just running around screaming crazy. Maybe it's a crazy kid you gotta deal with. Just pay attention to how you feel. All right, pay attention to the vibrations that you feel when these vibrations are emanated in the field. You have to look at where they're coming from, and then based off of who you are dealing with or what you are doing when you feel these frequencies and vibrations in your field, all you have to do, okay, is just program your shadow side. All right, program your shadow self, okay, to remove and block, clear, delete all of those frequencies from your inner system. So I did a video on this. It's called Reprogram Your Higher Selves. It's an awesome video. Check that out if you want to learn how to do that. But that's it. Like, once you understand that you do that, like, your shadow higher self is on your side, because for the clarity of your own soul, for the clarity of your own consciousness, your own awareness, going unscathed from 3D to 5D, all right, just cruising, off to the sunset, while you're still walking around incarnated in physical, all right, all bets are off. There's no games, all right. You can watch all the spiritual videos you want, all right, and the spiritual videos, they don't get it. Like, people don't get it. Like, they're backwashing information. They say, you see darkness in the world, so it's you, it's you who's seeing the darkness. It's you who has the darkness because you're seeing it. Like no, you can see stuff. That doesn't mean like you are that. You see an ant, that doesn't mean you're a goddamn ant. Like, like you see somebody like anywhere in the world. You see them. It doesn't mean like you have their life story. Right? You are not everything that has happened to that person. Like, so this goes with anybody you got to deal with. All right. Every person's fourth dimensional shadow self on the planet subconsciously puppets their vessel through the filter of their thoughts and emotions. That goes from every person who has a vessel on the planet. Their fourth dimensional shadow self is puppeting their vessel subconsciously. It might not be all the time, all right? It might just be only times, Maybe they scream at the TV. Maybe they get mad when their kids drop apple juice on the floor. Maybe they get mad at traffic. Maybe, I don't know, like they have some phobia or something. Like, whatever it is, it's a shadow self just triggering their subconscious. And because they are not in control of their shadow self, because they have not done the work to reprogram their shadow self, they're going off in rage. Like, they're literally going off in some type of fear, some type of guilt pattern, some type of psychotic sadness, some type of projection of some type of negative energy, all right? Because they don't know totally the entire scope of their own awareness. Now, I'm not saying I don't have my blind spots. I'm saying that when you understand the function of the shadow self, it is that to keep you in the net, the negative net of illusion, all right? The negative net of fourth dimensional veil of attachment without the vessel knowing, all right? So the fourth dimensional version can continue siphoning off that negative energy from their vessel, all right? So what you do is you use the power you have to take back your sovereign right. It's total clarity, okay? That's it, all right? That's all I want to say today, because that's the most important thing. It's just getting into your center, recalling your shadow self, reprogramming your shadow self. Say, hey, every time I feel this emotion from this person, I want you to block it. Okay, like that's it. Like, and you keep your shadow version within your vessel, or you call them in anytime you feel like you may be threatened. Like, that's it. Like, you exist as a pillar of light. Within that pillar of light, you have your diamond crystalline body. As that perfect creator being that you are, you have the ability to swap and swoop both versions of yourself over yourself. All right, you have your shadow side on your right side, you have your light side on your left side. You call your shadow in. All right, watch that video. I'll put it up again. Watch that video. Do that. I'm telling you, it's going to help you process all the garbage, all the bullshit, all the negative frequency projection of just total illusion and just total false timeline manifestation that you do not need on your own path. I'm telling you guys. All right, so use that power, take it back. All right, and you're gonna see development. And so with that said, you do not hesitate to question every single motive, every single action, every single move, every single emotion that you even happen to feel from somebody else. Like, you have to question and you have to look into these things, and you have to understand that you're in a simulation, a holographic simulation. Okay, now if you look at the actual physics of the simulation, you look down to the granular projection of the simulation. It's just light photons. That's all it is. It's just light photons. You see light. It's just, you're in a projection of light. It's like you're in a movie screen. You're in a spherical holographic movie screen. Okay, and the quicker you can understand that, the quicker you see that, you know, there's only intention involved in any specific action, and that intention is either for the benefit of someone else, either consciously or unconsciously, or for the benefit of all, which is hopefully you, if you decided on the path of light and ascension. You know, all is one, one is all, you know, one love, unified field physics of love. So, hey, just get into your heart, get into your center. All right, breathe from your heart, be one with your own I am presence. Okay, no fear. Okay. I'm honestly proud of myself, because I'm sitting here doing this video and there's been a wasp kind of like 6 inches from the camera that I'm recording this on, and if I get touched or if I get stung by a wasp, I'm in the ER like instantly. Alright, so you can't have fear. You can't have your shadow self puppeting you based off of your own phobias or your own negative emotions, based off of what might happen when it hasn't even happened yet, when there's probably no chance of it ever even happening. Like, that's how the world is run. Okay, the world is run off fear. Like, fear, what happens if you don't do this? Alright, what happens if this happens? Alright, like, not saying danger isn't real. Okay, what I'm saying is the concept of fear is false. Like, even the concept of something that didn't happen yet, it doesn't exist yet. That's the leverage point. When you're in your own center, you exist outside time, and you have that specific point, that eagle's eye perspective, to counteract and create what you prefer to happen before it even has a chance to happen. Like, literally, that's how you get around fear, guys, ladies and gentlemen. That's how it's done. All right. Now, I'm not like a super guru. Like, you know, I'm not like, you know, someone who's going to tell you like, oh, you should do this. Like when you like get a session with me, like, I don't want you guys to be like, guru, oh guru, what should I do? Like, no, like, I'm going to tell you like exactly, like, you know, my fifth dimensional perspective of my shift in own awareness, and how I was able to get myself there, and how you can too, just from your own inner reality and seeing yourself as the basis of your own 0 point of your own truth. So that's it. You know, just quick video. It's 17 minutes. No, it's not that quick. But yeah, just, you know, like, share, subscribe. If you like these videos, feel free to hit me up for a session. I do sessions at quantumlife.net. Healing, intuitive coaching, energy reading, and so on. So peace and love. I'll talk to you soon.